Hey, what's going on, everybody? Huvi186 back again with another live stream. Give me a moment while I share this. Uh, Hopefully, everyone's doing okay. Hold on a second. My phone, not phone. Uh, Fucking computer stopped charging. Give me one moment. Ah, motherfucker. Hold on. I guess I'll just turn it here. Shit. Hold on. Let me go ahead and share this while I'm at it. I've been on vacation for the past week. I'm back. I'm back working now, unfortunately, but yeah, I haven't been too active because I thought I would be more active if I was on vacation, but I guess for me, I just had other stuff that I wanted to do, so I didn't really have much of a chance to really do anything on here. And it's for the best. I mean, I got shit to do, man. I got gaming, got other stuff to do. So I did upload a video today, just a random Street Fighter video. Definitely we're gonna be talking about some of that today. For the just waiting for the live stream to go live on here. There has to be an easier way to do this. I don't want to do it on here. Give me a moment. Okay, there we go. Time to share. Okay. All right. So let me share this out to a few other outlets. Then I'll be ready to start with everything. Okay. I guess I can start. Hopefully everyone's having a good day. This will be live episode 5. Mainly we're gonna be talking about Crackdown 3 and pretty much all the news that came out of Evo 2017. Um, you know, so uh, so yeah, I might as well get started with Crackdown. Um, you know, Crackdown 3 is a game that I was looking forward to getting when it was first shown. I believe it was first shown on 2014. I think, yeah, 2014. It ended one of the Microsoft E3s. It was obviously you had the first Crackdown game, which was a cult classic. Two apparently wasn't very good. I haven't played none of these because at the time that these games were out, I didn't have any next generation system. I was still gaming on the PS2 at the time. Plus, you know, I was living with my cousin at the time, and he didn't have the game, so um, So you had that. So I never played a Crackdown game, but I do know that those type of games, like games like Infamous. What other games were there? I guess I would put no Horizon. I wouldn't put Horizon in that category. Like kind of like the out of control open world games. Those are games I actually like those type of games. Now the only exception to the rule is probably Saints Row. And that's mainly just three. I didn't get to play Saints Row 1 and 2 for obvious reasons. I got into the generation late, but I did get a chance to play Saints Row three, and I really didn't like it. And that had more to do with the mission structures, um, the end. Pretty much the whole humor of the game wasn't. It didn't do nothing for me. It was too outlandish and it wasn't clever. It wasn't funny or nothing like that. So I didn't like Saints Row, but some of the other games like that, like Infamous, obviously, Sunset Overdrive, which I really like. Those are the type of game that I like, and Crackdown fills that void. So I hope it filled that void. So I'm very sad for the game. It definitely was the premier. I mean, outside of obviously Forza, the Forza racing games, obviously. But outside of those games, that's kind of like the main AAA title that I'm looking forward to on the Xbox. Because like I said, I'm not huge into Halo, and I'm not a big fan of Gears, even though I have Gears 4, and I like it so far. I definitely have to play it more. I haven't played it in a while, but yeah, but the crack when it comes to first party AAA exclusives, Crackdown was supposed to be the game that I was looking forward to the most. Out, like, obviously outside of the Forza games, because obviously those games are I fuck with those games all day, all day. So with that said, they released some more gameplay of it. We haven't seen much of it since 2014, but they released some of it today, and I saw two videos from Fame Entertainment and Kid Smooth, two Xbox dudes who I like, I respect a lot. So, I saw their video, and the gameplay I'm going off of is the gameplay I saw on Kid Smooth's channel. That's the gameplay that I'm going off of, and based on what I've seen so far, the game doesn't look good. Like I'm not now. There's a difference. When people say, "Oh, the game don't look good," enough, like people think that you think that the game in general looks like shit. No, I'm talking strictly visuals, strictly graphics. The game doesn't look good. You know what I mean? The textures look muddled. Like it is nothing seems like it just seems bland. Like the look of the game looks pretty bland to me. The city looks bland. Everything seems bland, and it didn't have the destructibility that I thought that the game was being touted for. But apparently, that's all that stuff is supposed to be on the multiplayer. And while I understand that, I feel like there wasn't much destructibility in the gameplay that I saw. And if that's gonna be the case, like it's not a deal breaker for me, obviously. But to me, I mean, I don't know, I just find that kind of lame. You know what I mean? Like I figured that you would be able to do that more. I felt like you could probably do more destructibility when it comes to single player, because you're not having to worry about because you don't have to worry about server like server issues and lag from other people and whatnot. Like I figure you won't have to deal with that. You can put most of that processing power behind the destructibility of the buildings. But again, I'm not a tech guy, so I wouldn't know. But like I said, the game didn't look good. The game didn't look good. But the one thing that I'm noticing from a lot of the Xbox dudes is, one, they're saying that the articles and stuff like that about people kind of dogging the game is clickbait. No shit is clickbait. Everything that you see on the internet is clickbait. Fucking Christ. Yeah, I'm sorry. Some jackass trying to impress some people with whatever. Yeah, of course it's clickbait. Like, I mean, any title of article is clickbait. What do you guys expect? If you want people to read your content, you're gonna put a title that lure people in. That's it. People are like, oh, people shitting on the game to shit on the game. Listen, at the end of the day, like Not every game is gonna preview well. You know what I mean? Like it's not people. I swear to God, man. People just think that every game should be liked and adored, and there should be like tremendous hype around the game. I mean, I don't subscribe to that. Listen, the only hype that matters about Crackdown 3 is my hype. You know what I mean? That's the only hype that matters to me is my hype for the game. But you see people just going around and just acting sensitive over nothing. Just trying to keep going on with the supposed media bias that the Xbox One is getting, and people trying to destroy the game and whatnot. Like all that just fucking bullshit, man. Like it's nonsense. Because let's be real here, a lot of the same dudes who are sitting down trashing the game, right, are the same people who trash game like Last Guardian without playing it, saying that the game looks like a PS2 game, and you got a lot of people trashing GT Sport, talking about how the game is not this and that and shit like that. It happens. If a game, if a game is if a game doesn't impress you off bat, people are gonna have opinions about it. It doesn't matter what system the game's on. You know what I mean? Like sometimes people are just not impressed. And obviously, everyone knows that you have to play the game in order for it to, in order for you to, in order to get full judgment on the game. You know what I mean? Everyone knows that. Obviously, you have to play the game to get a true synopsis of what the game is about. But at the same time, you don't sit there and tell me with a straight face that some of you dudes who are whining and complaining now haven't passed judgment on any game, especially if it's a big game or supposed big game on a platform that you don't prefer. I don't buy into that. I don't buy that shit. I know some of you guys do. All of us do. All of us do. You know what I'm saying? If a game looks like shit from the jump, I mean, you're going to say something about it. I've done it. Everyone done it. I'm doing it with Crackdown. And I think Crackdown's gonna be great. I've expressed concerns about Tekken 7, and to be honest with you, all my concerns came out to really not be true. You know what I mean? All the stuff that I complained about Tekken 7 ended up, at least before Tekken 7, ended up not being a big deal to me. Same, and hopefully the same thing happened with GT Sport. I've expressed my concerns about GT Sport. You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean that I'm not hyped to play the game, and it also doesn't mean that I'm running around accusing the media of trying to shit on the game. Like, I mean, if the game is not impressing people, the game's not impressing people. It's just how it is. But some people can't accept that. You know what I mean? Because they just fall on some bullshit ass narratives and shit like that. And they're like, oh, if you're not hyped, then you're this, you're trying to kill this and that, and it's all bullshit, man. Always bullshit. Like I said, I'm hyped for the game. I'm excited for the game, but I also think that the game graphically don't look good. And another thing that I see a lot of people saying about Crackdown 3 is that, oh, it's not supposed to be a graphical showcase of the game of the Xbox One X. Bull fucking shit, people. Bullshit. Bullshit. You don't sit here and brag about the power of a console and then use a game and be like, oh well, that's not the one that's supposed to showcase the power of the X. When we all fucking know, if that game looked amazing, you guys would be like, oh well, you're looking at the power of the X, the power of the console. Bullshit, man. You guys are full of shit. Period. End of story. You guys are full of shit. You know what I mean? Like I understand that Crackdown 3 I know that the Crackdown series isn't the most relevant franchise when it comes to the Xbox brand. I get that. But at the end of the day, what was the narrative of this Crackdown 3, right? It was returning back to what made the game great with the first one, right? People got all excited over the fact that you had the people who made the first one was making Crackdown 3. All this shit surrounding the power of the cloud and this and that, DirectX 12 surrounded this fucking game. Everything surrounding, everything when it came to, up, all the technology within the Xbox One surrounded this fucking game. And now all of a sudden people want to downplay it, be like, "Oh, well, graphics aren't important. This and that. It's not what the game's about, or everything like that. Oh, Crackdown's not that big of a series." But yeah, these are the same motherfucking people who are hyping up all the fucking advantages that the Xbox One has surrounding this fucking game. So now what happened with why the narrative switch? Why is it all switching? Why is to me the only thing I can think of is damage control. That's my only conclusion. Is all of it is damage control. You know what I mean? Like it's annoying because at the end of the day, like this is like the fact that this game is coming out. This is the premier AAA game exclusive coming out for the system this year. That should be applauded. Well, I mean, I guess some people will argue that in Forza 7, but it should be applauded because at the end of the day, what Microsoft is doing, they're trying to establish more IPs. This is why they had, that's why they had all these IPs, all these IP. People say, oh, Microsoft it doesn't try to promote new IP. That's not true. Like you look at the beginning of the generation, you look at Sunset Overdrive, right? You look at what other game did they make? What other game did they have earlier this year? Oh man, I know it's gonna go against. I know people are gonna be like, oh well, you can't think of any exclusives. Oh shit. Okay, I got it. Notification. Um, I mean, no, they. I mean, obviously you have Sunset Overdrive. I'm trying to think. Recore. You have what else do you have? I can't think of any off the top of my head. But I mean, listen, the games are out there. Like you look at, obviously, I'll name Ori and the Blind Forest and stuff like that. But Microsoft has tried to put first party exclusives out there, try to create new IPs. Oh shit, I forgot Scalebound. They tried to kind of do a little reboot of Fable with Fable Legends and stuff like that. Like they've tried. You know what I mean? I don't think they want to be known as just the console for Halo, Forza, and Gears. You know what I mean? Like I don't think they want that. You know what I mean? So the fact that this game is gonna get all is pretty much gonna be the feature AAA game. That's a good thing, in my opinion. The only thing that as well commercially, I more so the game sells. I mean, let me start over. The most important thing for this game is for the game to sell well commercially. Now, if the game does well, when it comes to acclaim, I think that's good too. But obviously, the game needs to do well, commercially with game sales. And part of me thinks it will. What I mean, because it's gonna be launched. I believe it's gonna be launching at least around the same time as the One X. But like I said, most of the Microsoft's new IPs, not new IPs, but IPs, they don't sell as well as the PlayStation ones do, and to me that's a whole other story. I'll get into that. I'll make a video about that in the future about why that's the case and why that flipped from the PS3 and Xbox One. But I digress. Um, like I said, the game. Hopefully, the game does well commercially, because I think ultimately we want to see games succeed. We want to see games succeed. I'm sorry for the noise in the background. The car driving away, but obviously we want to see games like this succeed because I think we want to see Microsoft invest more into other IPs, and hopefully they do. Hopefully it does do well. Because I want to see Microsoft do good. What I mean, I don't have Microsoft like some of my other PlayStation friends do. What I mean, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with Microsoft. I own the Xbox One for a reason. At the end of the day, I want to see them do well. I want to see the game do well. But that doesn't mean that the game is not absolved for criticism. Even if it's pre-release, it's not absolved of criticism. It's not absolved of it. Like if the game don't look good, the game don't look good. That's just how it is. At the end of the day, Other people's opinions should not affect your opinion on whether or not you're excited for the game. It shouldn't. And getting upset over people's opinions on it makes no sense either. So, I mean, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. I didn't put this on the topic on the agenda on the title screen, but I actually did want to talk about it because I saw this video from a guy. I don't know his name. Um, I don't know the name, but he made a video complaining about PlayStation exclusives and the sameness. Now, I saw the video, and ultimately I don't agree with his video. Like, I thought the video was a bit. Um, I thought that his criticisms of what Sony was doing was overtly harsh and inaccurate, considering pretty much all we know right now. And the thing is that he was going on and saying, I'm looking for the video right now. He was saying that obviously most of the primary. I want to make this clear. He said primary PlayStation 4 exclusives. So we're talking. I mean, if I want to be honest with you, the ones that he wanted to criticize, in my opinion, because we all know that there's more than just five, right? But he completely nitpicked the game that he chose. He nitpicked those because those are the ones that fitted his agenda. Let's see if I can find it. So yeah, he picked those, and he was saying that pretty much most of the PlayStation 4 exclusives that he saw were pretty much the third person story driven games. Now, when you look at it, now the games that he chose as examples were the new God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, Uncharted, which I mean the gameplay he showcased was Uncharted Lost Odyssey, The Last of Us, and what was the other game that he mentioned? What other game did he mention? Oh, Days Gone, right? Oh, man, these are the perils of doing videos outside. But okay, but regardless, okay. So he mentioned those five games, and he picked those five games to prove his point. But here's the thing that I think. Here's a couple problems that I have. Like I found it here. Here's the problem that I had with his video. One, he picked five games from four studios, right? Yeah, obviously the two games from Naughty Dog. You have Sony Bend. You have shit. Okay, so you have obviously the Naughty Dog games, Sony Bend, Gorilla, and the last one. What is the last one? Ah, shit. What is the last one? Fuck. Fuck, man. Oh, okay. Days Gone, Horizon Zero Dawn. Oh, and Sony Santa Monica. Right. He chose five games from four studios. Right. Completely ignored Sony Japan. I believe Sony Japan, the one that made Neo. If I'm wrong, then just let me know. He completely ignored Sony Japan. He ignored he ignored Gravity Rush. He ignored Everybody Golf. He ignored obviously MLB The Show. He ignored that. So he was saying that all of Sony's exclusives are the same, but he didn't name all the exclusives. Right? He didn't name any of them. And he's saying that, I wish, back in the PS3 days I had, Little Big Planet, then I could have played a first person shooter and this and that and all that jazz. I'm like, buddy, there's a Little Big Planet game on the PS3. There's a Killzone game Oh, I mean, okay, there's a Little Big Planet game on the PS4. There's a Killzone game on the PS4, right? He was complaining about about Gorilla having, going from the first person shooter game that was critically acclaimed, but didn't really push the envelope that much, except for visuals. Accused and he accused them of not really of kind of going to the well when they made a vastly different game, an action role RPG, an action adventure RPG, which is the complete opposite of what they did in the past. But yet he accused them of not trying, of going to the well. And I'm like, what? What the fuck is this dude talking about? Like, again, I don't have a problem with his opinion, and I'm looking at it. Like, right, like his name's Ahmed. He apparently makes videos for COG Connected. Has 27,000 subscribers, and look, and to his credit, he made a big post afterwards, and he talked about how he obviously missed a couple of exclusives like Knack 2, like Gravity Rush, like Matterfall. He missed it, right? Now, oh yeah, Near Automata he didn't mention. He didn't, and I said Gran Turismo he didn't mention. You know what I mean? Like to me, I just found the video to be overtly harsh without having all your facts down packed. You know what I mean? It seemed like he made a video. And to be fair to him, he had an observation. It's not his observation isn't new. Like, I think I see a couple people who have said that, oh, my Sony exclusives are all the same. But the problem is, out of all three of the big three companies, the only company, in my opinion, that takes risk when it comes to first party exclusive is Sony. It's not even close. It's not even close. Like, Nintendo still has a lot to prove to me when it comes to their first party. Because right now, all I see from their first party is Wii U ports. That's all I see. And obviously, we all know Microsoft's issues when it came to first party, with the cancellation of Scalebound and stuff like that. We all know that, right? So yeah, when it comes to first party exclusives, the only company that takes a chance, the only company that's done it the right in my opinion is Sony. You call me a fanboy all you want, but that's a fact. To me, that's a fact. And this dude is saying that Sony is not don't take a chance with their first party, and he praised Nintendo for creating platformers, and he praises Microsoft for making first person shooters. And to my knowledge, how many first person shooters do they have? One. Like, this whole notion that Microsoft is the home for first person shooters. No, they're not. They're not. You know what I mean? And don't get into it. It's not a knock on Microsoft. It's not a knock on Microsoft. Oh, actually, hold on. Give me a moment. I'll be right back. Give me a moment. Okay, I'm back, people. I'm back. Um. So yeah. So back to the video, right? The is from Cog Connected. The video is called "The Problem with First Party PlayStation Exclusive," right? And again, I understand the argument he's trying to make. My problem with the argument is that none of the shit that he's bitching and complaining about are valid. You know what I mean? Like people just want to concentrate on the core PlayStation exclusives. But you have to understand, there are tons of fucking exclusives you can play on the console. There are tons of them. Oh yeah, let me backtrack on the. Let me get back to the whole Xbox first person shooter thing. Right? Like to me, like how like I understand that people prefer the Xbox One controller for shooters. I know that the triggers are more fit for first person shooters than the PlayStation controller, and I get that. I understand that. But I'm sorry, if you have if you have one first person shooter there in Halo, and that's all you're known for to be known as the system for first party shooter, like I'm sorry, but that shit don't hold water to me. Especially when you consider the fact that apparently that most of the first person shooters sell better on the PlayStation. So like I mean like so where the fuck did the narrative come from? You know what I mean? It came from last generation when all the shooters, which was the main thing last generation, sold better on the Xbox One. I mean, on the Xbox 360, because frankly, most games sold better on the Xbox 360. But back to the point. Back. Okay, so I addressed that point. Let me go back to the video. Right. My problem with his video is that he nitpicked 5 games from quote 5 major. Well, from the 4 major studios. Right. Which I didn't know Sony Ben was a major studio. I understand Sony Ben has the Sony name to it, but if I had to pick the top 5 studios that Sony has under their umbrella, Sony Ben is not in the top 5. Maybe they could be with Days Gone. We don't know, but they're not. To me, they're not a top 5 studio. They're not a core. They're not a core studio. At least in my opinion, I don't think they are. You know what I mean? Of you have a plethora of first party exclusives on the console. It doesn't fucking matter where they come from. All right? It doesn't matter if it's first party, second party, or third party. The fact of the matter is this: you get those exclusives to play those fucking games, right? Those are the fucking games that you buy for a console. Exclusives, right? It doesn't matter where they come from. It doesn't matter if they're core or not. Those are exclusives that you should hype up. And if you're going to, shit. Yeah, I'm sorry. There's a fire truck coming in. I'm gonna have to take this inside. Take this inside. Hopefully someone's okay. I don't know what the hell's going on. Okay. Actually, I think they're okay. Hold on. Give me a moment, people. All right. Okay, I'll be fine. All right. So essentially, he nitpicked the 5 exclusives, and to me, what's the point? Like if you think that certain portion of games look familiar, okay, understood. But like he was saying that all these 5 games do feel similar. Listen, Horizon and Uncharted don't play nothing alike. I don't play Horizon and Uncharted the same way. Not even close. Not even close. Like when I play Uncharted, you know, I pretty much, I run and gun. I pretty much run and gun through the game. Now, they did add stuff. They did add more stealth elements in Uncharted 4. But at the same time, if I was going stealth in Uncharted 4, if shit hits the fan, then boom, I'm good. I'm going guns blaze. I'm good with that. I can't do the same shit with Horizon. I can't. You know what I mean? Like again, I play far more stealthily in Horizon than I did with Uncharted because mainly because you have more weapons to choose from. You obviously one game has a weapon wheel, the other one doesn't. I think that's kind of a big fucking deal. But more importantly, you have to be when it comes to Horizon, you have to be a little bit more precise on what you want to do and how to kill different machines. You know what I mean? Like I can't, with when it comes to Uncharted, unless you're dealing with the brute. I mean, all you really gotta do is just shoot the dude, or if you're close to him, melee them. That's it. With Horizon, you have to worry about what's the best weapon for to go against each machine, what's the best place to hit them, and different strategies regarding it. And then you have to worry about fucking other machines. You know what I mean? You may have to even worry about other machines. So like they don't play the same. Like and again, I never played The Last of Us. It's not my type of game, even though I do want to try it out. But I highly doubt that a game like The Last of Us and Uncharted are the same games. You know what I mean? I've seen gameplay footage of The Last of Us. It don't play the same. And they're from the same from the same development studio, but they don't seem to play the same to me. And the curious case will probably be God of War. Because obviously, he talked about God of War and the changes they made. The reason why they made those changes was to make Kratos more of a human. Make him more, give him more character, right? Because that was really the only real beef that people had with the God of War series was the lack of character development in Kratos. He was just a pissed off motherfucker throughout the five main games. Well, six if you count um Ascension. So the reason why that's why they did what they did. Now again, some people may like it, some people may not. You know what I mean? And I would say that if he had just criticized them for doing for if he just criticized Sony Santa Monica for doing that, then a part of me would have been at least I can understand because a lot of people have complained about the potential that this God of War is going to be different, and obviously you have to worry about the kid that he has with him and stuff like that, and most people grew up on Kratos being a completely different character than they're portraying him to be now. But you see, that's why that's why I like what they're doing with the franchise because they're taking a risk. It's very easy for with a fixed camera, with fixed cameras, and fighting all these big fucking monsters and shit like that, and having another game, a great game, and doing that, and pretty much this resting on your laurels and making money. But no, they decided, yo, we want to do something different. We want to give him a new. We want to give him some personality, give him some character development, and I'm interested to see what they do. And I seen some of the combat of the latest combat, obviously from E3, and the combat looks cool. Like it looks cool to me. You know what I mean? So I want to see what they have. I want to see what they have in store. But yet, according to this dude, these like they shouldn't be doing that. And I'm like, yo, man, like you're gonna have to get over it, man. You're gonna have to get over it. Again, if you want, these new IPs, if you want like new, if you want these games to stay the way they are, then I mean, there's other game companies you can go to for that, man. And I'm glad that Sony doesn't fall into that trap because at the end of the day, I do like story driven games. I don't want just mindless games shit like that. I want a story driven game. There's enough room for both, and there definitely is both on this platform that he's bitching and complaining about. And that's my biggest problem with the video is that he sits there and he nitpicks these five fucking games, but yet he doesn't. One, they're not. One, there's definitely an argument that can be made about his criticism of all five games being the same when they're not. And considering that two of these fucking games aren't even out yet, but and also there are tons of games on the system. If you don't, if that doesn't suit you, then I mean it is what it is, man. But to me, I just found the whole video. I didn't find all of it to be bad, and I don't. And look, I'm not trying to diss the dude, but I mean ultimately, I just don't. I think his video was just being overtly negative for no reason, and I think it was just done overtly negative with some of the shots he took, I think it was just done just to get attention. And and look, he says it in the pinned post that he wants to start a discussion, and I'm cool with that. I'm down. I'm down for that. But to me, I just find the whole thing to be just misinformed, at least in my opinion. So like the video down, I'll probably link it. I'll probably link it down here when I get a chance on this in the description. But anyway, enough of that. The last thing I want to talk about is Evo 2017. I wasn't able to watch the finals of the Street Fighter tournament because I was at work. But I did see some of it. Going to a bar. They're actually streaming it at the bar, so I watched it there. And I've been following on Twitter. Following on Twitter, Facebook, whatnot. And they actually had this a Smash Brothers tournament. They were showing it. I think it was on one of the Nickelodeon channels. I was just scrolling down and I saw it there, and I clicked on it, and they were playing Smash, so I immediately turned it. Okay, I don't play Smash, so but they were showing it on there. So yeah, I mean, he was becoming, at least to me, it seemed like he was becoming bigger and bigger. And they had all this news with the fight with some of the fighting games. They revealed Trunks as the latest character in the Dragon Ball Z game. I think they announced a couple new characters for Marvel vs. Capcom. Man, I gotta be honest with you, man. With this, with the obviously Dragon Ball Z, you also have the stuff with they just announced what is it called? I think Blaze Blue Cross Battle, whatever, where they have Persona characters in there fighting with the Blaze Blue characters. Between that, between the Dragon Ball Z, the Cross Fighters game. I mean, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite looks like dog shit compared to those games. I'm sorry, it just does. And I'm not the biggest Marvel vs. Capcom fan to begin with, so I mean, I'm definitely not buying. I'm not definitely not buying this one. But I mean, just look from the aesthetics of this game compared to of those games compared to Infinite, it just look like bland dog shit, man. And obviously the whole thing with not putting in X-Men characters didn't help. To me, I just think that Capcom, and at least in that regard, they're dropping the ball with that game, in my opinion. Even though I'm sure it'll sell more than the other two, ultimately, in my opinion, they're dropping the ball with that game. So, yeah, so you had that, you had the Trunks reveal, you have the announcement of Blaze Blue Cross Battle. What's it? Oh, okay, that's Cross Battle. They actually announced this a couple days before Evo, but Samurai Showdown 5 is coming out on PS4. I think sometime in the near future. This is supposedly the unedited version, so they're definitely going to be like I guess I would call them fatalities, where if you slash them, their skin will rip apart and stuff like that. Um, and I believe they had them in previous Samurai Showdown games. They don't have it. The one that I have, I don't think they have that in Samurai Showdown 6, but they have it in 5. So I'm definitely copping that. Um, what else is there? Yeah, like the Kira EX fighting game is apparently supposed to be coming out. I don't think it has a title yet, but for those of you who probably don't know, um, back in the PS1 to PS2 era, Street Fighter had a 3D fighting game called Street Fighter EX, which had half Street Fighter characters and half characters from I guess character made by Akira. And I was okay. I liked the games. What I mean, I thought 3 was not very good. But the other two are fine. Um, it was a good fighting game. And they announced the Akira, which is gonna have all Akira characters. At least to my knowledge, they're gonna have all Akira characters. And they're coming out with a game on, I believe it's on PS4, either later on this year or early next year. And I mean, to my surprise, graphically it looked good. What I mean? I haven't seen any gameplay of it, but graphically it looked good. So I'm definitely gonna keep an eye out on that game.
What else did they announce? Did they show anything else? Well, I guess we'll talk about this. The two big news, uh, at least for me regarding Evo was one, the announcement of having Abigail in Street Fighter Five. Now, Abigail, he's from I believe he's from Final Fight on the original. Um, yeah, like he's a big dude. As you probably have seen from the reveal trailer, big dude. He was being he was he was revealed. It's like, I mean, there was been saying that he was being revealed a couple days, like it was kind of leaked a couple days ago. But um like, okay, so like he's I'm sorry, I'm reading something. But yeah, so he's a really big dude. According to this, he's about 8 feet tall and about 584 pounds. He's a big dude. Like he's bigger than Hugo. Like crazy. Um, I don't know. I'm not feeling the character, to be honest with you. And now with this season two, they said that they were going to introduce every character that they introduced past Akuma were brand new characters to the Street Fighter franchise. So Colleen's new, Ed is new, but the difference between Colleen, Ed, and this character is that you've seen Colleen in the Street Fighter Five story mode. She's in Street Fighter Five story mode, right? She's the assistant of Urine and Gil. Like you've seen her. Uh, Ed, like he you see you he was predominant in the Street Fighter Five story mode also. Abigail, to my knowledge, has not. I haven't seen him in anything regarding Street Fighter Five, so he's like completely brand new. So like, so pretty much, so yeah, so they added him into the game. He, like I said, he's gigantic. Um, with that said, like, I mean, I like the stage, the Metro City Bay Area stage. Like, it looks cool. I like the stage, but the character itself, I ain't digging. I'm not really digging it. But I did get the season pass, so I'm gonna get him anyway. I'll try him out. But the big story from Evo comes from Tekken. It comes from Tekken, and the announcement of one of the coolest characters in any fighting game period, and that is Geese Howard being a guest character for Tekken 7. Now, this came out of the blue for me because I didn't hear any rumors about him. Um, yeah, I didn't hear any rumors about him being introduced or nothing like that. It came out of nowhere for me.
For me, 'cause I didn't hear any
Hold on,
rumors.
let me turn that down. Yeah, so I didn't hear nothing. I didn't hear nothing about it. But I mean, dude, I'm so excited for this character, man. So excited because the thing with the Tekken games that I think they did very well, at least with Akuma, is that they have Akuma playing. They have him. They made Akuma true to what he was in Street Fighter, right? And it seemed like it just can't. Is this his character? It seems so seamless with the rest of the Tekken roster, and that is, I thought it would be very difficult to do. But like I said, the people over at Namco, they're a lot better at this than I am. So like you said, all his move list is still there. With the ground fireballs and the raging storms and stuff like that. It just seemed like they did a really good job with him, and I cannot wait to fucking to download him and play with him because I'm a big fan of Geese. Even though I'm not really great with him, the best I used him in was Capcom versus SNK 2, and that's another thing I wanted to mention. Now that we have, first time in a long time, we have a Street Fighter character in a King of Fighters character, in the same game. Granted, it's in a Tekken game. So hopefully in the future, my dream, if there was any sequel announced that would get me hyped more than anything else, would be a Capcom versus SNK 3 game. That's what I want more than anything in the world. And at least we got a tiny piece of that with the announcement of Geese Howard. And obviously, I said this to uh to Yoshida, to Ono, to Hiroda, and to Oda, all three men responsible for Tekken, Street Fighter, King of Fighters. I want to see a Capcom versus SNK versus Namco fighting game. That's what I want more than anything in the world. Outside of Capcom versus SNK 3, I would love to see a Capcom versus SNK versus Namco game. I think they can do it. Let's. I think we can see it. I think we can see it. I'm looking forward to it. Back to Geese. Obviously he has all his move sets, stuff like that. The stage that he's in, which looks cool. Um, ultimately, man, like it's cool, man. Like I mean, I'm just looking forward to it, man. Like I really am. Let me scroll down Twitter real quick. Um, to see if there's anything popping in there. Otherwise, I'll probably end it now. Let me see. Hmm, Let me see. I'm just looking through here. Mm, Let me see. Yeah, for the two people watching, I definitely do appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching. Um, let's see. No, I guess nothing else seems to be going on. I see some tweets about Raw and the whole thing with Kurt Angle, and I'm not interested in that. More interested in G1, to be honest with you. Definitely more interested in G1. Definitely have to watch Naito versus Ibushi. That looked like a great match. I saw some Twitter 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 gifs of some of the moves that they of you know of the wrestling that looked cool. Mm, Let me see. Yeah, I guess I don't. I think that's pretty much it. I mean, yeah, nothing else here is really piquing my interest when it comes to whatever it is to talk about. See. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I'll probably end the video here. Thank you guys for watching. Like I said, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Um, anyways, look out for more videos. I'm out. Peace.